This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all, this
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. I'm Lindsay in for Jeff. Happy Monday, guys. How was your weekend?
Monday.
Good.
What's going on?
Happy Hanukkah. Yeah, happy Hanukkah. Chag Sameach. There's a lot of, I get it. I know. Happy Hanukkah
What
to
day of
everybody.
Hanukkah are we on?
We are on the first day, and the first night was last night at sunset.
Okay, so you lit the first candle on menorah last night.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
I'm excited for you, Tori.
Thank you.
Today we're talking about all the movies that Tori loves, starting with Avatar, The Way of the Water, which made a big splash at the box office.
I get it. Splash.
Get it?
Yeah.
It brought in $134 million, but still fell short of the $150 to $175 million it was expected to make over 3 days. But if you did add in the global box office numbers, it actually made $435 million. Keep in mind that the movie needs to make $2 billion to even break even, and the original Avatar only made $77 million during its opening weekend in 2009. So this is like double that. I call that a win for Avatar, Tori. What do you call that?
I call that not breaking even. Sorry. Now, look, I just want to say, if this is going to be the highest grossing movie of all time, can you clap if you went and saw Avatar?
Wow. Wow.
Okay, if it is supposed to be that type of movie, we would not hear that quiet. It would not be silent. Everybody we know from all different walks of life, everyone in this studio, diverse people, someone would have gone.
Maybe they're just shy to
That's a mic
clap.
drop moment.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
I was so worried someone was going to.
Well, if one person clapped, I mean, you still would have proved your point.
Thank you, Erica.
No, that is the nature of a blockbuster. It has to hit all four quadrants, and I mean, we are represented of those four quadrants, and you're right. But I mean, it is impressive that it's doing those types of numbers, because so many movies aren't pulling in those types of numbers, because a lot of people haven't returned to the movie theater.
Yeah,
fair.
I mean, I went to my first, you guys know, pre-pandemic, I probably went to 20, 30 basketball games a year, home games, and I went to my first one post-pandemic. So I do think there is something, I went to my first one last night, there is something to just kind of retraining your brain, because it got out of practice of ever thinking about, oh, go get tickets tonight. I never thought about that. So I don't know, we've talked about Avatar 2. It's not some underground secret, and the fact that nobody in this room, it is telling. And it's also sad that, you know, you can do these kind of numbers and it's still considered semi-flop, Lindsay. Like, it's just always...
Don't
They spent
overproduce
so much
it,
on
right.
the movie. Yeah, $2 billion to break even is a little crazy.
Thank you.
Let's talk about James Cameron's other epic movie, Titanic, which turns 25 today. And Kate Winslet may have settled the age-old door debate once and for all. Speaking on a podcast, Kate weighed in on whether Jack could have fit on that door with Rose. Finally, take a look.
I think that he could have fit.
Right. But he was already pretty worse for the wear. He was.
Oh, I see. It would have tipped, and it would not have been. It would not have been a sustainable idea. So you heard it here for the first time. Yes, he could
Once
have
and
fit.
for all.
He could have fit on that door, but it would not have stayed afloat. It wouldn't.
No, movies are fantasy. You got to save your man.
Well, James Cameron said because of the movie, you needed him to die by the end. By your rationale, you needed that heartbreak. So, but it was cinematic for him to die. But he totally could have fit. He totally could have fit.
Yeah, but in theory.
Like, curl up.
Because people think about these things like, okay, we'll take him out of the water and put him on the door. But I'm like, have you ever even just tried to stand up on a surfboard? It's impossible. So to try and get somebody that's submerged on there without you guys, it would have been
is true.
impossible. So I'm pro Rose on this one. Erica?
Yeah. I went to see this movie when I was a junior in high school, not realizing what I was going to see and how long I was going to be sitting there. I have never thought about any of this. I only think about how much my butt actually hurt when I got up.
That's what you get for moving on with your life.
Yeah.
All right?
And every movie doesn't have to end sad. Like, we get it. It was a touching movie regardless. He didn't have to die.
It's Titanic.
He
It has
needed
to end
die.
sad.
You're right. People actually.
Lindsay wants to remake Titanic where everyone lives. And it really is just a
There's
nice
more that could have been done,
carnival
okay?
cruise more than anything. We all had a good time and then it ended.
Okay, Al. Tom Cruise once again proved why he is the biggest movie star on the planet. He performed 2 epic stunts for his upcoming Mission Impossible movies. In the first, he thanked fans for supporting Top Gun Maverick while jumping out of a helicopter in South Africa. Seriously, watch.
Thank you for supporting Top Gun Maverick. as only thank you for allowing us to entertain you. It truly is the honor of a lifetime. I'm running out of altitude, so I better get back to work. We gotta get this shot. You have a very safe and happy holiday. We'll see you at the movies.
Oh my
God.
That's wow. Next, behind-the-scenes footage from a film shows Tom riding a motorcycle off a cliff in Norway. Take a look.
I'm exhausted.
I saw candy.
Dude. Okay, so Tom actually did that stunt 6 different times. And to prepare for it, he did 500 skydives and 13,000 motocross jumps on a dirt bike. You know, at some point, you just like, you're a star, dude. We get it. Like, there's professional stunt people that can handle this.
I don't think he wants to. Yeah, what do you think, Erica?
Well, I mean, we talked about adrenaline junkies, and some people just don't possess the gene that says, hey, don't jump off a building. You know, most of us do. That's why we don't do it. But I think he's really, there's just certain people. It's like a Kobe. You were born to be a prolific basketball player. Tom Cruise was born to be a prolific action hero, like action, or at least an actor.
Right. It's weird that we don't look at Tom as like an action hero. Like when you think about, you know, obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger had his run, you know, they're just like guys that are like John Cena had a quick run, The Rock. But
Sylvester Stallone. Yeah.
But it's so interesting that like we don't look at Tom Cruise, who does his own stunts, has really action-packed movies, seems committed. I will never forget of that clip we rolled a couple years ago with him, people yelling at people on set about COVID. He is obsessively focused with doing the best that he absolutely can every single time. And the only other person that reminds me of is Kobe Bryant and maybe Tom Brady. People that are obsessed with perfection. Money doesn't matter. Status doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just about the actual act in the moment. Yes.
Yeah, it's like Navy SEALs, like those type A people that will succeed no matter what they do. They're a small group and you have to sort of find them. I have to say this, I dislike Tom Cruise a lot as a human being. I love Tom Cruise as a movie star.
What do you know about him as a human being?
A lot.
She spent time with him like Elon Musk.
No, I just mean I don't necessarily like jive with everything he says, but my God, when we need a movie star with a capital M, he jumps out of a plane.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
People
never
are wondering,
disappoints.
is he the greatest of all time?
He never disappoints.
We're going to get one more movie in, so we're getting our first look at Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling in the upcoming Barbie movie. Take a look. Okay, Al is jumping out of his seat. So what do you think, Al?
I'm thinking I'm busy on the 21st. I think that this could be cinematically beautiful. This is not for me. But they didn't make this movie for me. But I think even if I watched it, if the soundtrack is right, it seemed like colors popped. It seemed like this seems a little musically to me.
Yeah,
but
musically.
It's not for. Here's a better question. Who is this for?
So it's a Greta Gerwig film, and it's going to be a little bit of a parody and a satire of the Barbie world.
Tori.
Yeah. Me.
Anybody who grew
up with Barbie and wants to reflect on it in a funny sort of pop culture pastiche way of looking back on it. It's not a real Barbie movie. This is a sort of, again, a satire, a parody, tongue-in-cheek. That's why they got these actors to agree. The script has to be good enough, and the director, Greta Gerwig, is amazing. So I can't imagine this being all cheese and no substance. Am I right?
Yeah, all cheese and no crackers would not.
and real quick, what's pastiche?
A pastiche is like when you make fun of sort of something that happened in time to represent something else.
Oh.
So they're sort of mocking the Barbie moment.
Okay.
Aren't you mad you asked?
Yes. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Get Smart actress Barbara Feldon, what it was like playing Agent 99 in one of the top sitcoms of the 60s. And Elon Musk polls Twitter asking, should he step down as CEO, and could Snoop Dogg do it? We'll see what they say.
Did you ever think?
It's happy holiday season time.
From our DBL family
To yours, we want to wish you
A happy holiday season.
A happy holiday season. We can't get over Tom and I just said he
Tori,
takes my
I want to
breath
get back to
away.
the Barbie demo.
Okay. It's people
Wait,
like...
hold on. Kelly Schuberth, would you go see Barbie in the theater?
Oh, no. I don't see anything in the theater anymore, but I'll
One piece?
Okay.
It's again, I wish I could explain. Oh, you know Moulin Rouge? You know the part in Moulin Rouge where it's supposed to be back in the 1890s in French in the Montmartre period, but they take Nirvana and they'll go, and we all are entertaining. That's a pastiche of like entertaining used in a movie to represent something. Does that make sense? It's almost a parody, a bit of a satire. It's looked at it from a different angle. So he did Like a Virgin.
Oh, so it's like
it's sort of using this isn't going to be like a heartfelt story. This is going to be more like a, how do I say it? Like Jordan Peele's twist. There's a twist. Yeah. The twist is going to be in the substance that I think reflects on the pop culture of what Barbie represents, which is plastic. And you know what I mean?
Unrealistic body.
Like Ken, I think in this movie doesn't have any money. He doesn't have any.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
He has no money. He has no clothes. I mean, house.
I gotta tell you, I got a text from my mom earlier today. I was on camera and I said I didn't get anyone's Christmas gift because Colin and I were in Houston partying with A-Life. And my mom said, I hear you, Lindsay. I'm gonna celebrate Christmas with love also. I love you. So she's returning my gifts now.
There
so glad we had a great weekend in Houston.
You gotta
I'm not
remember
getting any
these
Christmas
cameras
gifts.
go out.
People can see.
Yes.
People can see.
Sometimes you forget. That's how you know we're just talking up here.
It's weird because my kids, you'll see, especially your daughter, by the time she's old enough, your kids don't want anything physical or tangible.
Yeah,
so it's hard to
experience
go out. They're not like, I want that. You know, it's more like, I would like an app that will lead me to a code that I can scan for this free basket. It's just like,
It's confusing.
Just, do you want a jacket?
I know. Can I get you this basketball?
Yeah.
Is that what kids get now?
Look at that menorah. Am I saying it right?
You are.
Oh, it should be one light lit for Tori.
That's correct.
Yeah.
The shamus and the, yes,
I
exactly.
don't know if it's for Tori.
Well, for everybody. In honor of Tori and Hanukkah. Welcome back. Elon Musk may have sealed his fate at Twitter. It's been a rough ride for Elon ever since he spent $44 billion to buy the platform. Now it seems like Twitter users may have turned on him. Elon put up a poll asking if he should step down as Twitter CEO. And a majority, nearly 58%, say yes, he should. Elon followed up the poll tweeting, "Be careful what you wish, as you might get it," which is not how the quote goes. So if Elon is not gonna run Twitter, who should? Well, Snoop Dogg has thrown his hat into the ring. He put up his own poll asking if he should take over the social media platform, and the results so far are much better than Elon's, with it overwhelmingly being in his favor. So, what do you guys think? Tori, Snoop Dogg, or Elon?
I voted for Snoop Dogg and against Elon, just for my
You
own.
literally voted.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I did.
She voted in both polls.
If you want to make it a town square,
Those are Tori's midterms.
get out the vote. If you want to make it a town square, I don't think you should be running it. And as a joke, I sort of voted for Snoop Dogg. But may I add, we laughed when we said Trump would run for president. We laughed when Kanye West said he might run, and then Trump did run and win. So it's not out of the realm that a pop culture icon might take over. I was doing it in jest, but it's not like someone like Snoop Dogg couldn't do it.
No, but I think with those examples you gave, Tori, like a pop culture icon taking over a space that they have no footing in, we've seen how that turns out. Erica, people don't like to talk about people that just like work really hard and study and get into the minutia and study game tape and study trends. No one wants, they're like, are you famous? Can you dance? Then you can run this company. And that's why Twitter doesn't exist anymore. And you know, I don't use Twitter anymore. Everything I've seen come from Twitter has been fake news. Sports, I don't look at it, and that was a valued source for me, especially on a show like this. And it's really sad. We're joking around, but I always want to say to Elon, we were using that. The people, regular people that have to look up things, we were using that. So I hope you had fun for 40 days, and now it's just a garbage fire.
Well, I think that's what you said. I hope you had fun for 40 days, because it seems to me like he tired too.
He wants to go. I agree with Erica.
He tired.
He wants out.
He's like, okay, y'all don't want me here. I don't want to be here. They had to force me into, doing what I said I was going to do and go ahead and buy the platform. So who wants it now is basically the thing. I really, this is, man, I think I'm going to go back to school in 20 years just to hear all of the history that we were a part of and how it's told in a classroom.
But don't you think he should take like a leadership role that's like kind of detaches him from actually being in it and hire somebody who's really good at leading a company? Like he could just be like, in theory, like the owner of Twitter. Not in theory, in actuality, the owner of Twitter, and then let somebody else run it. Like, why does he have to be there, like making the rules?
I think Elon is very narcissistic and has to do it his way, and therefore he can't just sit back and be the puppet leader. He is in there coding and being there and like obsessive about his way. So I think that's an impossibility, even though I want that to happen.
He wanted to be the face, but like, you can be almost like, in Boomerang, you can be the face of the company but not run it. Lady Eloise, sorry, black people, y'all should know that, especially if you're 40-something. But there's always the face of the company, and there's the person that actually runs things. And we all expect that. We don't expect, the CEO, like Magic Johnson movie theaters, we don't expect him be back there putting the film on.
Right, but you're saying two different things. It's like, to your credit, the face versus leadership. Right. And true leaders understand delegation. They understand where strength lies in everyone that works for them. They understand how to put people ahead of themselves and their own ego. So no, he probably wasn't the best choice, because I think the leadership quality may not necessarily be there.
Snoop Dogg.
Well, we'll see what happens. Go Snoop. Coming up on DBL, you know her as Agent 99 in Get Smart. Barbara Feldon is telling us all about her new memoir featuring some must-hear stories from the 60s.
Be honest, when you're packing for a trip, how often do you do the wallets, keys, cell phone, tickets check? Verify viewer Angel texted us to ask whether that check needs to include ensuring you have the right ID, or more specifically, a real ID. So Angel, let's verify. Do you currently need a real ID to fly in the US? Our sources are the Department of Homeland Security and the DMVs in California, Texas, and North Carolina. In 2005, Congress passed a law that set a new federal standard for states to take when verifying a person's identity to issue an ID. Our DMV sources say these real IDs are signified by a star in the top right corner. The law originally required people to have a real ID by 2008 if they wanted to board an airplane or enter secure federal facilities, like a courthouse or military base. But states asked for several extensions, and the deadline was pushed back a number of times. As of 2022, 17 years after the law was passed, DHS estimated less than half of state or territory-issued IDs are compliant, meaning more than 100 million people don't have a real ID. But now, they'll get plenty of extra time to upgrade. The federal government delayed plans to start enforcing the Real ID law until May 7th, 2025. So, no, you don't currently need a real ID to fly, but you will in about 2.5 years. In addition to a real ID, you can use a passport or some other federally issued photo ID in 2025. The changes will continue to exempt children under 18 from needing an ID, and you'll still need a passport if you're traveling internationally. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. She went by Agent 99 in one of the top sitcoms of the 60s, Get Smart. Now she's getting smarter with her new memoir that chronicles her adventures into the world of being an actress. Check out our conversation with the lovely Barbara Feldon.
Listen, 99, I think we can buy some time if one of us helps the other one up on their shoulder.
Good thinking, 86.
Right, here, give me a boost.
No, Max, wouldn't it be better if I got on your shoulders?
Oh, yeah, right.
What's wrong, Max?
$11.99. I think you better give me a 1, 2, 3.
Well, we just saw a clip from Get Smart that you and Don Adams had, and you all had what we call great chemistry. And I wanted to know what your dynamic was like behind the scenes, because we all have that here, we think.
Yeah, I think you all have it there, too.
Oh, thanks, Barbara.
Actually, the chemistry between Agent 99 and Maxwell Smart was amazing from the very beginning. The chemistry between Don and me, not so much.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we were very nice to each other, but we just didn't have much to say, and I don't think we had 3 conversations in 5 years.
Wow.
However, after the show ended, we didn't see each other for 20 years. And when we finally worked together again, it was as though some little sweet seed had been planted earlier that had sprouted and blossomed into this lovely, affectionate friendship. That lasted for the rest of Don's life.
So you landed Get Smart in 1965 in a male-dominated industry. You were one of the first female leads in a comedy. Did it feel like a big responsibility at the time?
I wish that I could say it did, but at the time, I was just really happy to be working. And it was before the women's movement, and I think really that Agent 99 was probably more of a feminist than I was at that time. I was absolutely blind to there being anything wrong with there being no women directors or producers or writers on our show. I was in like a little box that everybody else was in too, with no windows out, and we couldn't look out and even imagine possibilities for equality for women. So no, I wasn't feeling responsible, but I'm really grateful that things have changed. And I think that your show is a great example of that, right?
Absolutely. As you were talking, Barbara, I was looking around the studio and just like how you don't even think about like, oh, there's women in the studio. Of course there is, but you know, you were at the bottom floor for all this starting. So you were part of the women's movement, whether you know it or not. We need to get to this unforgettable commercial with you, and it's about a men's dandruff gel. So let's just roll that.
I want a word with all you tigers. Oh, you men know which ones you are. I like you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you say in your memoir that you realized very quickly that your body would make you money, which is fair. Now, how does it feel to watch this commercial back?
I am appalled to see rolling around on an endangered species. I mean, I don't think that's a choice we would make today, but actually making the commercial was fun. It was tongue-in-cheek kind of sex and not serious, and I'm sorry about that, all you tigers.
But we all have things we look back on and wish we did a little bit differently.
That's right.
So Getting Smarter is full of juicy stories. Tell us about the Frenchman who lived a double life and swept you off your feet. Is it true that you thought the KGB was chasing you because of him?
Absolutely. This story, this sort of romantic adventure, which went on for quite a number of years, actually, is the core of my memoir. I'd for so long wanted to tell the story of meeting this glamorous Frenchman who was beautiful and brilliant, and I married him, and then shortly found out that he was living a double life. And that's where the adventures began. And that's why I found myself on the street in my trench coat, looking over my shoulder, trying to see if the KGB was following me, which actually is kind of ironic because 2 years later, I was doing Get Smart in the same trench coat and looking over my shoulder and trying to escape from chaos.
Oh, there's so many good stories in here, Barbara. Thank you so much. To our viewers, pick up a copy of Barbara's memoir, Getting Smarter, available on barbarafelden.com or on Amazon. It would make a great gift. Thank you so much, Barbara.
Please come back.
We'll be right back.
Barbara.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Same to you.
If you're getting texts like these, you're not alone. The texts claim to be from the United States Postal Service, saying a package can't be shipped or delivered without more information. But are they the real deal? Let's verify with these sources. Right away, we found multiple reports on this kind of text on the Better Business Bureau scam tracker. Posts indicating the text linked to a fake USPS website, asking for a redelivery fee. Meanwhile, the United States Postal Inspection Service warns of such scams, and postal inspectors say to watch out. While the Postal Service does offer tools to track packages, we verified that USPS will not send you a text or email unless you sign up for notifications first. And that's only for a tracking number for a package you're expecting. Official text will not include a link. Cybersecurity expert Andy Green says criminals are always after your money or personal information, and they're counting on people being easily distracted by the holiday season.
We're reacting instead of thinking, and that is a ripe mental state, psychological state for us to be taken advantage of as victims by criminals.
So yes, we can verify scam text messages impersonating the United States Postal Service are circulating. So don't click the link and stay alert this holiday season. With your Fast Facts, I'm Liza Lucas.
More than 100,000 people have seen this video of TikTok user Sarah discovering just how much caffeine there is in one of these Panera Bread Company drinks.
Mango Yuzu Citrus Charged Lemonade. Woo, this is gonna be a whirlwind.
And much of the buzz is actually concern about this much buzz. So let's verify. Is too much caffeine dangerous?
We learned the answer from several sources, and we checked Panera's website, where we see a regular 20-ounce Mango Yuzu Citrus Charged Lemonade has 260 milligrams of caffeine.
Look what you're doing!
The FDA, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and Dr. Alan Taylor all say yes, too much caffeine can be dangerous.
It is a stimulant. Increases blood pressure, it increases the rate at which the heart contracts.
But how much caffeine is too much caffeine isn't so clear. The FDA says, in general, adults can have up to 400 milligrams of caffeine over the course of a day. That's 4 or 5 cups of coffee before feeling the negative impacts. But that can vary based on age, body type, or other medications or medical conditions, the time over which the caffeine is consumed, and how much someone is used to drinking.
There is tolerance to these stimulants that develops.
The American Academy of Pediatrics mostly recommends against caffeine for kids and teens.
But even an average healthy adult feeling any of these symptoms,
insomnia, jitters, anxiety, a rapid heart rate, stomach issues, headache, even dysphoria, a feeling of unhappiness.
You can actually get caffeine toxicity.
Might want to switch to water for a bit. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter helps you distinguish between true and false information by answering your questions. It provides fast facts on trending topics, spotlights major stories, and even includes a daily fun fact for all those trivia buffs out there. Get Verify's fast facts delivered every weekday to your email inbox. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Good times.
Welcome back to DBL. We just came back to say bye-bye. DBL's new, the same time, same place. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Snoop.